What is up, homies? Christian back again with Twin Sons action figure close-up, and today I have for us the Hasbro 6-inch Black Series Heroes of Endor Han Solo. And here he is inside of the plastic prison, and as you can see, it's pretty similar packaging to what we had last week with Luke, except now it's Han Solo Endor. Got that green coming back for Return of the Jedi. On the side, we got Han Solo and all of his smuggler goodness on the side here. Not wearing the jacket, which he wears on the figure. So kind of odd choice right there, but you know, the jacket comes on and off, so it's not too big of a deal. On the back, we have the same artwork again right here. He is number 5 in the Return of the Jedi lineup. Han Solo volunteered to lead the mission to destroy the new Death Star shield generator. He and his strike team landed on the forest moon of Endor, where they encountered scout troopers and Ewoks. I like how they point out it's the forest moon of Endor, because everyone thinks they're on the planet of Endor when they're not. We got the side right here, Star Wars Black Series, and the side right here. So, there's the overview. Let's free him and see what we got. And here he is, free from the plastic prison. And Han is looking pretty good, might I say. So, let me just start off by saying that this is actually, I know it's hard to believe, but this is the first Black Series Han Solo that I own. I do have the SHF on New Hope one. Maybe I'll put a video on that. Drop a comment down below if you guys like to see that video. But Black Series really did a good job here. Let's start by just the biggest thing, the coat. So this trench coat is looking really good, in my opinion. I love how they actually put the camo, the browns to the light brown to the green to the tan. It's a very natural looking camo. It looks realistic. I really like it. The stitching is a bit big at sometimes, but it's really hard to make stitching look tiny and to scale when you're working with 112 here. So can't really knock Hasbro down for that. The collar is looking pretty good here. It's a trench coat, so I feel like the collars are always a bit bigger. It's got this inside like lining here, so that way it doesn't always look, I mean, you guys can see the color difference there, so you know, if it's not perfect, it doesn't look bad, because that little inside hangover has got you covered right there. So overall, this trench coat looks really good. I really like the way it hangs. My only wish on the wish list here would be wired, so you can have, like, you know, some nice wind effects or something, which, I mean, it doesn't look too bad when you try to do it naturally. You gotta put a crinkle in the fabric itself, like on that stitching right there, and use that. So, looks good. Does not hinder articulation at all. The elbow still gets all the way up. You can still, if you wanna be picky about it, just mess with a little bit of the cloth before you do it. Looks really good when it's articulated, and obviously since it's soft goods, doesn't get in the way of knees or anything. So, really like the trench coat. Looks really good. But for the rest of the review, let's take it off. So, let's start with the head. Head looks really good. Looks actually like Harrison Ford. Like I said with Mark Hamill last week, I feel like Harrison Ford is also one of those faces that's just really hard to nail and make it look good. But Hasbro's really been stepping it up lately. I mean, just look at that. Photo reel really knocks out the park too. The hair, so well done, immaculately done. I love the wash on the hair, the dry brush, bringing out some highlights and stuff. It's not just one shade, big blob. The detail on it is great. The paint app on it is great. I don't know if this is a new head sculpt or if this is a reuse head sculpt, because, you know, the older head sculpts were actually usually really good, but the paint application on the old ones was honestly what ruined them. So these new paint apps, photo reel apps, really bring them out. So this could be a reused head sculpt. Again, I do not own the older ones, so I don't know. But just based off the photos I've seen, I feel like this top is new. And I think that's just because of this. That little shirt down collar right there. It's a little unbuttoned right there. It's a little bit of his chest. It's very Han Solo-esque. This vest looks really good. They put the pockets here, pockets there. They put some wrinkles in the pockets, so it almost looks like there's, I don't know, nothing like too big in there, but looks like he's probably got a couple Kleenex in there or something, you know? Looks good. I really like the fabric lay here. And this has got to be a new shirt, because this is the shirt he comes out of in out of the carbonite in. It's got that fold across. Back of the jacket looks really good too. I like the pouches here. I don't know what you'd put on pouches on your back, but you know, fashion over function. It's Han Solo. He's just worried about looking good, you know? The cloth looks good here. Hands look pretty good. It's got that weird like plastic bit right there. I don't know if that's on all of them or if that's just mine. But I mean, it's on his hand, so no one's gonna be looking at it too much. Belt looks very good. Nice silver there. Nice silver on the buckle beneath it. And the two little buttons right there. Pouches look good. I don't know if the light is showing it well. Yeah, it is. So you guys can actually see there's a little silver paint app, not perfectly applied right there, but the effort was put in right there. There's actually a paint app on the belt underneath the holster. You can see the brown onto the blue. The brown like where his belt loops would be from his pants. We got more silver here, silver studs all over the back. Looking really good with his, what is that, his communicator or something? I honestly don't know what that would be. Let me know if you guys know. Let's get that leg adjusted. But as you can see, the belt loops are painted like I was saying, the buckle there. Just put a lot of detail in the little things on this figure like that. I really appreciate that. Now, let's get these arms up so they get out of the way. The legs, I feel like, are reuse. And I simply say that because of the double jointed knees. Hasbro's been moving to a single jointed knee system. That looks a little bit better when it's articulated, but it also doesn't have these pins on the sides like you get on these older knees. But the legs still look good. It's got the stripes here, the stripes on the other side. Boots looking really good. Really gave that leather sheen to them. I like the way it turned out. You can see the wrinkles as the light catches them, which I really like how the sheen allows the light to catch the wrinkles like that. Brings out a lot of detail on what would otherwise be sort of a detailless desert. But it's looking fine. I like these boots. I wouldn't mind snagging me a pair of these boots. So, overall, he looks very good. Even without the jacket on. The jacket's not hiding anything bad. In fact, the jacket's kind of covering up some of the best details. Now let's go over his articulation. For his head, we got down. Not too much down. A little bit of down. The neck doesn't really move as much as on some of these newer figures. A little bit of up. He's not looking up like straight at the sky, but you know, if Vader's in front of him and he needs to look up to meet his eye line, he can do that still. We have swivel left, swivel right. He's got some tilt, which is really nice for a cocky guy like Han Solo. That's gonna bring out a lot of expression, you know. You can be like, me? You know, just like that iconic scene. So, a lot of nice tilt there. For the shoulder, we go all the way around. We go all the way up. His elbow. Now, I actually thought this was a double jointed elbow when I was first playing with him inside of the jacket, because I know Hasbro sometimes with soft goods, they'll actually put a double jointed elbow. But no, this single elbow gets past 90. Barely, but it does. I mean, it's probably 95 to 100. So that's really nice to see. I wonder, again, I think this top is new sculpt, so I wonder if this is really like, gives it away. That's new sculpting. I love when they can get that high up. His pistol hand has up and down, but not too much, and that's because you guys can see here the way the sleeve comes over really blocks out a lot of that articulation, which is kind of saddening. They could have just cut the sleeve back like literally 2 millimeters back, and it would have been great. So, I mean, it is what it is though. hand does have, just like you can see, my hand has that plastic around the top that then leads to that. It's almost like it wasn't trimmed very well, or something like a little bit extra plastic came out of the mold when mine was being made. And we got swivel at the elbow. I don't know if I already pointed that out. So, other arm, not gonna go over it too much. Exact same articulation, except this wrist is left to right, but you wouldn't even really know because it's same issue. You can barely see the joint cut out even on this one. So, the hands have articulation at the wrists, but it's kind of useless. Not gonna lie. Let's get these arms up and out of our way, because the torso, let's check out that crunch. Let's check out that crunch. Okay. No crunch. He'd do the lean back though. Oh man, he could be the next Neo. But he's not crouching over to see anything. He's gonna be bending at the hips. So you can see that. He leans left and right. And we got swivel. The only thing with the shirt is that because it's that fold over, you can see those lines don't match up. So that's the only problem with that. And there is no swivel at the waist to make them line up. It's only at the mid-torso. So for you photographers out there, you're just gonna wanna hide that in the photography, you know, if he's leaning over. It's pretty easy to cover it with his vest. It's not too big of a deal, really. These legs look like they're gonna be older, so let's check out their articulation on the hip. Oh yeah. I think this is the furthest we've gone on any figure recently, to be honest. That's really good. And we got thigh swivel, but you're not gonna wanna do too much on this leg because that holster is a separate entity and it's glued on right here. So you wanna be careful of that when you're using his right leg. The other one swivels though. And just like the shirt though, with the swivel, you're just gonna wanna be careful on the angles you're using because of those lines. You wanna make sure that they line up or they're just out of the frame. These knees, we got the classic knees here. Double jointed. My joints don't wanna go up on that one, so let's use his other leg. So, he can kick himself. The knees, that old unsightly knee though, when it's actually articulated. So I'm gonna try to keep him standing most of the time, just straight up. Really would have liked to have seen Hasbro come back in and give us new legs on this one. I get it's easier on their part and it allows us to get more figures faster, but I wouldn't have minded waiting a little bit longer to get a definitive Han Solo in a sense, you know, brand new sculpt here. Would like to have seen a new neck articulation there. But really, it's just these knees. These knees bug the crap out of me. I feel like I can't ever bend them because they just look awful. What about these boots? We got the standard Hasbro swivel and rock. Or is it rock and swivel? Let me know below what you guys think when Hasbro says they got the swivel rockers. Which one's which? But overall, the articulation is decent. You'll be able to get him in some poses. And he can go beyond the museum. You know, he's gonna be able to look pretty fly and sharp like Han Solo does. And as far as accessories, beyond just the jacket, he only comes with his iconic DL44. Ha! Bet you guys thought I wouldn't know the name, but I do for his. The DL44 is looking fantastic. We got two paint apps on it. We got the silver here, and silver goes over this, you know, the barrel end, and these nice little ridges here. Nicely textured. I like the way they feel. And the pistol grip has got some lines in it, and that nice brown grip painted onto it. As you can see, there's a lot of detail here. They got some dents and divots here, and a dent there, and the trigger well here. The scope, obviously, as you can see, like, I don't know if this is where the power pack goes instead of a magazine. On this side though, we got some sculpting there. Some sculpting there. I don't know if this is a new DL44, because it's gotta have been updated recently, because this is not what came with the original Han Solo. And I feel like they didn't have the sculpting work back then. The DL44 though looks good, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit in the hand, so let's test that out. And it fits in the hand beautifully. Mine's having a little bit of issues getting that trigger finger in the well because I got that extra plastic. There we go. So that's looking real good. Yeah, that's on. And you guys know I love this. It's not even gonna try to do it with this hand, but this does go in to here. It's a tight fit. It's got a little buckle right there, but it looks great once it's in there. The scope just hangs out the side perfectly. It is at an angle where you can get a shot of him, you know, looking like he's about to pull it out, or you just put it away. Looking good. So overall, I'd say this Han is a great figure. If you like Han Solo and you're trying to get him from all of his outfits in all the movies, obviously you need to get him. If you never bought a Hasbro Han Solo like me, now's the time to hop in on this bandwagon, because I think this may be the best one from what I've seen in other reviews and other videos in photography. And you get this slick jacket. The jacket looks great too. And, I mean, everyone loves Endor Han. The trench coat is really what makes it. So I'm gonna have to display him with the trench coat. I know it hides a lot of the beautiful detail, but it's just, that's my Han Solo. I love Return of the Jedi. I love the trench coat. It looks great. So I would definitely say to pick up this figure. Let me know in the comments down below if you have one. Until next time, may the Force be with you.